Good evening. This is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the show tonight, top government ministers have been holding consultations with the RSS, which has enormous political clout after the BJP's big Lok Sabha win. But is the RSS turning into the NAC of the NDA government, or will the Modi government stand firm? Also tonight, top UP cops caught on camera blaming rape on everything from live-in relationships to televisions and cell phones. Is there any excuse for the police? But first, our big political debate tonight. Over the last several days, ministers in the NDA government and other senior officials have been holding consultations with top RSS leaders. Last week, BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav said that this coordination will help in creating better communication. Otherwise, he said there are problems. It is understood that various Sangh groups have been pushing their demands, from the Mazdoor Sangh that wants contract workers regularized to the Swadeshi Jagran Manch that strongly opposes any form of FDI. The question then is the RSS becoming like the National Advisory Council headed by Sonia Gandhi in the previous regime, an organization that essentially wields power and authority but has no accountability? Or is the Modi government actually standing firm and holding its own? Well, joining us on the panel this evening, Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP from Delhi, Mr. Pawan Verma, Rajya Sabha MP of the JDU, Rakesh Sinha of the RSS here in the studio with us, Akar Patel joins us tonight from Bangalore, and Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni, well-known political analyst and columnist this evening from Mumbai. Mr. Kulkarni, let me take that question to you first. Do you believe it is a healthy two-way communication that is happening between the RSS and the government today, or do you think it is reminiscent of the way the NAC and the UPA functioned?
You know, there is nothing wrong in the BJP and the RSS functionaries having a regular consultation on issues before the nation, issues pertaining to development, issues pertaining to better governance. But if the government allows itself to be controlled by the RSS, if the Prime Minister allows himself to be controlled by the RSS and only by the RSS, and not taking the views and the inputs and the feedback and suggestions, ideas from other sources, which are very many in a diverse country like India, then that would be really unfortunate and not democratic. You know, it must also be mentioned here that the previous government treated the RSS as untouchable and not take any suggestions, any ideas from those who were directly or indirectly associated with the RSS. Even that was undemocratic. And therefore, the government of the country must know that it represents the entire country and not just one ideology or one organization. If the BJP wants to have an internal consultation with the RSS, there is nothing wrong.
Okay, but I think what you make is an interesting point. And Akar Patel, the question though is that the RSS is not just any cultural organization or social organization where the BJP is seeking inputs as one among many. We know exactly what its influence is. So therefore, do you believe that this is being done with the government having the upper hand, or with the Sangh having the upper hand?
The former. I think that we need to ask ourselves whether there is any distance between Mr. Modi and the RSS. I would say there is very little. And it is true that while he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, there were some specific issues on which there was a strife. For instance, the teaching of Gujarati to the children of the poor. Mr. Modi wanted it, but the RSS didn't. They insisted on Gujarati medium education, and they had their way. Mr. Modi also had his way on most things. So there tends to be a sort of general agreement between the two. On some things, Mr. Modi has to give way, on some things the RSS has to give way. I think that Mr. Modi at this point in Delhi is the most powerful leader in the country. I don't think that the RSS particularly has a lot of influence on him. He's independent in a way that Mr. Vajpayee was not. I think that the old Sar Sangachalak BJP head relationship no longer applies. I think Mr. Bhagavat does not see himself as Mr. Modi's superior, and I think that is what we'll see in the next 5 years.
So are you saying that Mr. Modi will engage with the RSS because after all he does need the RSS for its organizational capabilities, particularly for elections and so on, but that he will engage with them on his own terms? Is that what you're saying? And that's how where he will have the upper hand?
Yes, and I think that we need to understand that the RSS cadre today is extremely enamored of Mr. Modi. I don't think that it will be possible, even if they want it, which they don't, for the RSS leadership to tell Mr. Modi to get into line. I think his control and his command and the love that the RSS cadre have for him across the country is phenomenal.
So, Pawan Verma, would you agree that this is then, a healthy exchange up to a point? It's clear that Mr. Modi is calling the shots. Or do you think that at some point that the RSS will want to wield its influence on certain issues, and therein lies the worry?
The fact, Nidhi, that consultations are going on should not cause you any surprise. It's far more than consultations. The so-called distance between the RSS and a BJP party or government is a notional factor, it's a fictional factor. The two are integrated by an umbilical cord. Now, as far as the balance of power, which is what you seem to be asking earlier, I believe that the balance of power, irrespective of Mr. Modi's current standing, is immeasurably far more with the RSS. The RSS is the nursery, the crucible, and the BJP represents its political aspect. Now, so long as the two are congruent, so long as the two are in agreement, they present a very powerful political and socio-cultural machine. But the BJP as a party understands that its political clout is severely dependent on RSS cooperation on the ground. And so I believe that Mr. Modi, while of course asserting his will to the extent that he was able to do in some cases in Gujarat, may continue to do so with the RSS. I don't believe he or Amit Shah are in any doubt as to the real power and clout of the RSS, both in terms of a cadre and in terms of its influence and hold over the great many, across the spectrum of the BJP.
But let me then take this question to Sambit Patra, that Mr. Patra, can we at least now end that pretense that the RSS is a social cultural organization? It's obviously very much a political organization, and in a sense now the BJP is owning up to that and is engaging with it actively and openly.
Nidhi, first let me begin by saying that though I could hear most of you, but I could not hear Mr. Pawan Verma. So keeping aside whatever Mr. Pawan Verma would have said, let me reply. I believe most of what we are going to discuss or what we have discussed as yet would be clear by a simple clarification that what we are pointing towards is that we are suggesting in a very oblique manner that RSS is the remote control which is trying to control government, which is trying to control the Bharatiya Janata Party. To this I would say that we have to know the distinction between a compass and a remote control, an analogy which I have been giving since long. A compass is something which only guides, which has no control button in itself. And it is up to the follower of the compass whether to follow the path dictated by the compass or not. The compass only shows the right path. And as far as the remote control is concerned, read it as the NAC. It has the buttons which controls. It is not within the one who holds as to how they direct the remote control, but at the end, the remote control is the one which takes control finally. So we have an RSS which is a compass. They had an NAC which was a remote control. This should be absolutely clear. And as one of the biggest organization in the world, a cultural organization, I see no harm, as many of my previous speakers also saw.
But why do you still call it a cultural organization? Let's just say that yes, it is a very much a political organization, and the BJP is a part of that. That's a good thing. Why shy away from that? Why are we still hiding behind these names?
No. BJP is a culture. BJP is the political body. If the family, BJP is the political body. RSS is the ideological body. We derive our inspiration, the ideology and the path in which we would follow politics of this country, that we derive from RSS. And RSS never ever directly interjects into the politics of Bharatiya Janata Party. Though, as I said, as a compass, it guides the way, and it depends on us whether we follow the way or not. Well, if we go by the good way, it is always good for the political party and for the country. So when today the ministers of the government in the center meet in consultation with the people from the biggest organization of the country, all they are taught is good things about governance. They are taught how the laborers in various sectors should, in fact, the contractual labor should be made permanent. As you yourself stated in your report, that Mazdoor Mahasangh wants that the contractual labor should be made permanent. Similarly, Swadeshi Jagran Manch, which is one of the think tank bodies.
So you're imbibing good things. What you're saying is that you're imbibing...
Definitely.
Okay,
not good things. RSS is all about good things. It has no compartment of bad things. Since it has all compartments of good things, so anything it suggests and leaves it for Bharatiya Janata Party to follow is always good things.
Okay, I know Pawan Verma wants to respond to you. I'll give him just give me a moment. Let me get Dr. Rakesh Sinha here, who is a member of the RSS. Give us a sense from within the RSS about how they look at this relationship. You know, there are some who feel that it is, like Pawan Verma was saying, that ultimately the power lies with the RSS. Others who say that right now it is Mr. Modi who has the upper hand.
I think whole debate is based on one theory, that is domination and dominant theory. Means who will dominate, RSS or BJP? This is not true. This is a wrong assumption about the RSS and BJP. First of all, RSS was formed in 1925 and BJP or Bharatiya Janata Sangh came into existence in 1952. RSS work is not confined to any political party. Previously there was Hindu Mahasabha. RSS has works among the workers, among students, among Dalits, among tribal. The Banwasi Kalyan Ashram is the largest network in the tribal area. They are not working for a political party. But RSS has one challenge. There are many political parties in this country, but there are two ideologies. One represented by RSS, other represented by the rest of the political parties. So RSS, the challenge before RSS is to break the ideological status quo, hegemony of ideological status quo, which has been continuing since the colonial period till the date. In this regard, if BJP has come into the power, the RSS is helping in three ways. First, the alternative model of political participation. It is generating political participation, what Mohan Bhagwat has said, that 100% voting. That was the job of the election commission.
Gives the RSS an opportunity to pursue the issues that are important.
Second thing,
to the Sangh,
second important thing, that it has been making a qualitative change in the Indian democracy. Pawan Verma must remember the fact that in 1974 there was a challenge before the Indian democracy. Political parties were not in the position to face Indira Gandhi. Socialist Jayaprakash Narayan came to the RSS and both of them fought against the emergency. It should not be discussed in the context of who will dominate. If RSS people are in consultation with the BJP people, they are just giving the policy feedbacks. It is not the parallel cabinet like the National Advisory Council of Sonia Gandhi. It was not a dictating term. RSS does not like to dictate. RSS just advises, because its workers are working among the workers, among the students, among Dalits, among tribals. So the groundwork they are doing, they are giving feedbacks to the political parties.
Is
so
it
is
okay?
a qualitative strengthening of democracy.
Is it just feedback, Sudhindra Kulkarni? Is it just feedback, or is there going to be give and take depending on the issue? Because Mr. Modi needs the RSS needs Mr. Modi. Let's face it, that's the bottom line. So, are they going to negotiate depending on the issues at hand?
See, Narendra Modi ji is the Prime Minister of India. He is not the Prime Minister who belongs and has to take advice only from the RSS. RSS is one large organization, but the diversity of India goes beyond the RSS. And if the Prime Minister of India or any of his ministers take advice only from the RSS, then they would be doing injustice to India and to their own role as representative government of India. And I must point out here that even though Mohan Bhagwat ji has recently said that 2 Swayamsevaks have become Prime Minister, after becoming Prime Minister, they did not project themselves, identify themselves as RSS Swayamsevaks. You know, there was a controversy in year 2000 when Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he made a statement in the United States when he was addressing the Indian community that he is also a Swayamsevak. But he immediately clarified that he is a Swayamsevak of India. मैं राष्ट्र का स्वयंसेवक हूँ, मैं RSS का स्वयंसेवक हूँ, ऐसा उन्होंने कभी नहीं कहा. Now, if the government and the Prime Minister do not keep this distance from the RSS, then this government would certainly come into trouble.